What's going on, guys? Welcome to another mental health checkup. We haven't done one of these in a while. This is volume 8, 9. I kind of lost track.
I lost
on
track.
the Renegade Pop Culture Podcast Network. My name is Mike. I'll be your host this evening. Joining me, we've got Fiona.
Hello, everybody.
We've got Jacob.
What's up, y'all?
And I believe this is her first mental health podcast. We've got Tyler.
Yep.
Welcome to the Mental Health Squad.
So like most of our episodes, there isn't really an overarching theme or anything. We're just here to vent whatever we have on our mind. And the basic philosophy is to assure our audience that whatever you're going through, whatever you're struggling with, just know that you're not alone. So Tyler, since you haven't done one of these before, we'll start with you. Anything you want to get off your chest, or just whatever you have on your mind?
So who's first? Me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know the format of this, to be perfectly honest, as well, but I can probably say it's been ups and downs. Ups. College work's been going pretty well. I'm doing like paralegal studies and surprisingly doing really well in those classes. Down in that I kind of wish I was further along in the progression of my personality, if you catch my drift. That's the general part of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on this show, you can keep it general. You can expand upon whatever it is that you want to, if you want to vent about anything, you can. This is kind of it's our personal show, but still fun.
Okay,
And
I
just so you know.
And rest assured, Tyler, this is a judgment-free zone.
Oh,
Of course.
I know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We ain't that other place.
We are not. No, well, okay, speaking of places and venting, I go back and forward between, man, I wish I was still working with that YouTube group I used to be part of. And the other part of me goes, I wish I could throttle them all to death right now.
I know exactly who Tyler is talking about, and yeah, we have a history with them too.
No, not them. The debunk people.
Oh, gotcha.
The ones that also unceremoniously kicked me out back in June because they wanted to be more like the old content, and they saw me as just someone that could do research for them and not as a person. After being so upbeat and positive and accepting and friendly, and then just abruptly, oh, by the way, we're going to kick you out in 6 months after we use all your really good video content. I complain, say some things I probably shouldn't have, and then, oh, well, actually get out right now.
That's horrible, man.
Yes.
That's like, how do you even? Yeah, how do you do that to a person? How do you do that to somebody?
I don't know.
It's just so fake.
I admit I flew off the handle and said some extreme things and things I honestly still did mean. I did. How do I put this? I didn't think they were valuing me enough as a person. I felt they were using me, and that did cause me to very much stress out, panic, and threaten suicide a couple times. And they said to just don't do that. In the most unprofessional, unbeloved way possible, and then just kick me loose.
I don't even understand that.
I don't know. It's like, what?
How was that a response? How was that a response to somebody that
I never fought with them before.
Oh.
Got one fight and then gone. I don't know. They were like mid early 20s from Florida. They didn't always understand the finer points of academia and history, but I thought for them. I thought they were decent people. Guess not.
That sucks.
Yep. Florida is a hell. It's a hellscape.
Yep. And any attempt to try to backtrack,
politically
or fix,
speaking,
or do anything, it's basically just been a stone wall.
got a flyer from Ron DeSantis, our dear governor over here, and it said it had like a mock-up of him in like Tom Cruise's Top Gun costume.
Oh god.
And it
no,
said
no.
Top Gov on it.
Oh, that is awful.
I heard. I really like Top Gun Maverick too.
I-
Thanks to
I did a
Yeah, I
spit
know.
take.
But I'm not.
I
I'm
did
not
a spit
surprised
take
that
on
people
that.
latched in on that. But I could trust him. Just threw him under the bus after being so. Honestly, even they were like, oh, they were asking me if I was doing okay back in October, and I was the one asking if they were doing okay because one of the guy did some of the editing, freaking had a panic attack while making that freaking 2-hour Jack the Ripper video, so I felt bad about that. But then, oh, when I have a problem, oh, it's fuck you.
Yeah, that doesn't seem fair at all.
Yep, yep, and yep, and they just look. They also the only deal they were going to give me was I could stay on to do some research, but they would write the scripts and I wouldn't get any credit, and also they never paid me any of that. I got sent out of it.
Oh, sorry that you went through that.
Yeah, they also threw it back in my face that that passion project for the Eastland thing was basically, oh, we're only doing this because you wanted it, not because we wanted it.
so the project's basically dead then.
No, I'm still trying. It's still okay. I'm gonna get some more positive parts, but at the very least, they gave me back all the scripts that I wrote that they hadn't used yet, and that's what I'm trying to springboard into making my new channel. Although the problem with that one is more just trying to get the time to get a guy to do recording stuff who I'm good friends with, but sometimes procrastinates a lot. And then I'm using editor, who's a friend of one of my friends, but she's kind of going through editing school and has to do projects, so she's kind of slow. So it's me trying to get people to do things quicker, but not trying to be an asshole about it and force them to do it.
Yeah, it's nice that you're finding your own voice, Tyler.
Oh yeah, because like the other problem is, and I was nice to these people, but there are some times where they're just like, why'd you do that? Like the Ripper video. They cut out a solid 5-minute to 10-minute chunk of my favorite part of that script and never told me about it until the video was released.
Hey, remember when I edited your Red Baron script and they didn't even use the script that I edited?
Yeah, I remember that. Again,
What?
Yeah. He put
I've
an
been
effort and they
proofreading-
just didn't do it.
I've been proofreading like Tyler's scripts recently for Debunk Files, and like I did one for that Anne that female Irish female pirate one. Whoops. And the one on then another one on the Zodiac Killer one, and then I did the Red Baron one, and I'm fairly certain that at most they've only made a few of the changes that I've made to Tyler's scripts, or as the case of the Red Baron one, they didn't even use the version that I fucking edited.
Yep. I thought that was just me being sloppy or just rushing things. I know they had a lot of things on their plate when that Red Baron thing came out, but now I'm like, I ain't giving a benefit of the doubt. Nah, they're just being assholes.
Yeah. Oh my god. Like that sucks. Like it was for what it's worth, I did enjoy I did enjoy reading the From Hell letter. That was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I wasn't doesn't Animat also do some voiceover work for those videos too?
Yes, actually he did in this one, and he did one for the eventual Eastland thing. In fact, actually he put that on his SoundCloud as a demo of like, I can do these voices. So he was proud of how that turned out. I like the videos I did. I'm still not, okay, I don't watch my older stuff in general because I was one of those people that's just like, I just don't like watching any of my older stuff because I'm the sort of nitpicker that'll just go, that could have been better, that could have been better. Yeah. I'm obviously not going to be watching them now, especially because now I'm like, I'm going to nitpick. Also, these people suck ass, but I'm not
Yeah. Even like when they played my reading of the Jack the Ripper, when I read the From Hell letter, they switched from my voice, my delivery, to another guy doing it.
They kept flipping backwards, which it's like I wasn't told they were gonna do that.
It's like it starts off with me as sort of the From Hell Mr. Luxa. And then the guy says, I sent you out the kidney I took from one woman and preserved it for you to the pace I fried and ate.
Yeah.
It kept switching back and
It
forth.
didn't work as well because of that. And that's not a choice I made.
Why did they do that? Like
they thought it would work better, and they're the editors. I didn't really get to do much of the editing ideas.
I put my soul into that reading, damn it.
It did.
It was fun though. Like it was
fun.
I picked a really good voice, I think, too. It was like this like this drunk Cockney accent, like this very like a deeply fucked up person. Like,
yeah, you went with the Cockney. The first guy went with like a Aussie British mix because the guy is from New Zealand. The second guy went with a more Irishy flavor. That was all fine.
I based it off of Bill from The Conjuring 2, even. Like this
nice.
That worked out. It just unfortunately they didn't use the full take because they thought
Rommel, Mr. Luxa. A center of the kidney I took from one woman, preserved it for you to the pace I fried and ate. It was very nice. I'll send you the knife that cut it out if you only wait a while longer. Signed, catch me if you can, Mr. Lusk.
I like that. Very good.
I even offered offered to read the Red Baron's letters even, because I'm actually of German descent. I can pull off a German accent. Granted, it might be a little like stereotypical. It'd be like Werner Herzog. Or hello, I am the Red Baron. With all due respect, sir, I did not spend all that time in the military to count eggs or like as I am flying, I feel as if I am not a part of this world or something like that.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
That was a good one. That was good.
I'm
also kind of funny
German.
you mentioned that because Werner Herzog had a small role in the new Ken Burns documentary about the Holocaust. He does a few line reads for a Hermann Goering letter, and he says it in the most Werner Herzogian way. But yeah, just the videos all turned out for the most part pretty well. Of course, I could always go, oh, well, this could have been done better. But, you know, that's me with everything. But unfortunately, you know, while the memories of what those videos produced were good, the people who I did it with, much less so.
Yeah. Are they, so they're still up on YouTube though?
Yeah, they're still up on there. In fact, actually, the Ripper one just passed 100,000 views, which blows my mind. I never thought it would even get remotely.
Excellent. Wow.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Very impressive. Yeah.
One good thing about this was that it did reaffirm some of the people that I knew were genuinely good people, because the first person who reached out to me that night when I was just completely a mess was actually the voice actress from Resident Evil, Katie O'Hagan. She actually spent like an hour talking with me, just going, oh, you just sing songs from Joni Mitchell, everything will be all right. And she was just sweetest.
Aw.
Yeah. I mean, I already knew she was a nice lady, but it's like that really, might confirm that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and because of that, she's actually having a role in the first video I'm going to produce, and also has a role in the Eastland thing, actually.
Yeah. You know, in times like that, like when people stab you in the back, you at least get to know who your friends are.
Yep. Why isn't that the truth? And yeah, I said that one of those scripts has been recorded. I'm just waiting for the lady to edit it, and I'm sure she'll be a better editor. To be perfectly honest, the editor wasn't that great for Devon Fly. Always kind of threw in stuff, and I'm like, I'm not sure what you're doing there, but I'm not going to be an asshole and criticize you because I know you're putting in your best. That's the problem with me. I always kind of give people too much of the benefit of the doubt. So I'm like, well, I didn't like that, but I'm not going to point it out to you because clearly you tried. Like, you should just say you suck.
I'm kind of the same way in some regards. Where like, it's hard to know the limit, like to how many times you can give someone the benefit of the doubt before they just kind of become a lost cause.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, this one was just a real just drop of a hat. It was just oh hey, here's some ideas and pitches and scripts, and he goes, hey, I got something to tell you, friend. Yeah, what's that? Get out in 6 months.
You know what this brings to mind for me, Mike, is like for the old place, you know which place I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Is any of your stuff still up on there, or is it all gone just like mine?
I'm pretty sure it's all gone.
Yeah. Yep, it's lost to the ether.
Yeah,
Maybe it's best that way.
I mean, in a way.
So and that way people won't know that you were ever associated with them.
Yeah, you're not associated. Yeah.
Well, actually,
that is not something you want on your resume.
Funnily enough,
Definitely not.
They have both.
Speaking of which, I actually did like remove it from my resume at like pretty recently.
Same.
Yeah, because that just has such bad implications.
I don't know.
Like people see that and they'll assume like that you're just an alt-right chud, like a grifter.
The best thing about like taking it off my resume is that I was never paid, so I lost nothing.
Right.
You're talking about the Midnight's Edge people.
No, we're talking about the other ones.
Oh, the other ones, the one that they're in bed with now.
The other ones that we don't want to mention. Yeah.
The one that Zack Snyder called out on their live stream about the Snyder cut.
Yeah, those people who do guest on ME last I checked, so circle of hell there.
Yep.
I mean, I don't really have ill will towards anybody, but it's just, I just don't associate.
I don't know my whole ill will. It's kind of weird because actually those people a lot longer than Debunk Fellows. That was like just 2020 to 2022. Those people are like 2016, 2017 to 2020, and I mean, they were usually nice to me, although in retrospect, I can definitely see some snide remarks and comments here and there.
Mm-hmm.
It was just more what they were becoming was so antithetical to what I was and what I was becoming that it couldn't be compatible. Just a nice way of putting it, they were just going way out the deep end politically.
When it comes to Midnight's Edge, I don't actually think I ever fit in at one point. I was there for a few years, trying my best to get along with as many people as I could. But I learned pretty quickly that was just not my scene.
Scares me is I think I maybe fit in more than I'd like to admit. Like you're talking about things that got scrubbed. All the episodes from like their podcast that I was on are scrubbed, not because I was on it, because I think everything past the point was just kind of deleted because there was like hundreds of episodes. And I'm really happy about that because I know I said some inflammatory shit that I do not at all want anyone to ever see.
Yeah, good thing that's all history.
Yeah, they kept all the scripts that I wrote, which that's fine, although can't watch any of those because boy, do I not like the writing style I did back then. Because back then it was basically just, let me just read the Wikipedia page and rephrase it in a way that's not plagiarism, even though it's totally plagiarism. Nowadays, I'd be like, so I'm going to crack out this book and go to primary sources and I'll get back to you in like 3 months.
Tyler, you're a work in progress. Everyone is.
In a way, that pushed me in a direction because, like, hey, they gave me a chance to write, and that eventually led to other options, and eventually here. And
yeah,
people, but
you always you have come a long way since then.
Yeah,
you have.
Yes. Yeah.
Everyone has.
The nicest thing I ever saw someone ever say on Twitter, which I didn't, they weren't saying it about me, at least they weren't aware, was someone going, man, what happened to that Midnight's Edge people? They used to be actually analytical, now they're just reactionary dipshits. And some guy said, yeah, like what happened to the people who did like that Halloween retrospective? That was awesome. And I'm like scrolling by going, holy shit, that's me.
Honestly, like even I cringe sometimes when I listen to like the older episodes that I am a part of.
Oh,
Like,
I can't even hear my voice in general. I can never actually hear my voice. I just kinda
I've
put my
I've
headset on.
come a long way since then. You know, as I'm, you know, I know I don't judge anyone for not being as good as they used to be as they are now. I don't, you know, because you know we all have stuff we have to work on. Like whatever we do, like whether it's writing or recording, you always have room for improvement. And you know what?
Mhm.
I came across a quote recently is that, like there's some like the person you were 10 years ago is probably really proud of where you are now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Considering where I was 10 years ago, that is saying something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I will say, I do occasionally, because for some reason those midnight dead people follow me on Twitter, so I occasionally just check and go, what are these people doing? Oh, all terrible stuff. Okay, well that's not shocking.
Yeah.
Well, 10 years ago, I was working in Walmart, so
I
it's
can
definitely
understand.
better now.
Oh yeah, you're better, way better off. Ooh.
10 years ago, I just started college.
Years ago was 10 years ago, the most important thing in my life was waiting for the next episode of the Telltale Walking Dead game.
And good game. That was one of those games where there's a certain part that happens, so a certain character dies, and I put down my controller and I was like, okay, break time. Can't do it.
Yeah, I was like that too. Funny enough, it's a game that I've replayed from time to time, and it just gets better with age. Maybe not in a graphical and gameplay sense, but just in a nuance and plot kind of way. Like that fifth episode of the game was emotionally devastating, even when I was 14. Now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, good lord, this is just emotional torment
That's
on a
just
scale that
yeah.
gets worse when you. The worst detail for me was, and I think the last time I played was like 2018, 2019, when like the last season came out. Um, just the way the main character looks when he gets bit, like the eyes turn yellow and the
Oh
skin
yeah,
turns like
man.
a sickly color. What struck me there was also the way that the breathing becomes almost like death rattles. It reminded me way too much of when my mom was dying of like breast cancer.
Oh,
So it's
oh
like, oh, this is
God.
not fun. This is not fun.
Yeah.
But I respect the writers for just going with it all.
Yep. Well, I mean, that was one of the original, like, just rip your heart out kind of games,
Yeah,
kind
it
of
was the one game that made
experiences. So,
everyone kind of go, "Oh, I think we may have found something worse than Final Fantasy VII."
yeah. I think it was Will Wright, or was it Will Wright? One of those guys, one of those designers who said something about in order for games to become art, they have to become not fun.
It was Will Wright that said that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it was Will Wright.
And that's one I would definitely say fits the memo, because even at its best gameplay wise, it's not it's not a first person shooter. It's a point and click game.
It's a point and click game, yeah.
Yeah, it's not an entertainment product.
It's a quick time event game.
It's one that just slowly builds kind of just stress and like fear in you, and eventually it just kind of plays with your heartstrings like a freaking xylophone.
So really, it's more like interactive television.
Oh no, absolutely. Down to the episodic nature and the credits, the preview sequences, the character relationships. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And that was really cool too, the way that they incorporated that sort of presentation.
Yeah, it's a style that's kind of fallen out of fashion in the last couple of years, which is kind of a shame.
It has. Well, we do have that Wolf Among Us sequel.
Oh yeah, but that actually is Telltale coming back. I think some of the writers are back for it, so that's actually I'm more reasonably excited for that than I probably ought to.
And that new Tales from Borderlands, I think.
I have heard from friends that's apparently complete crap.
Is it really?
None of the Telltale people worked on that. That's just Gearbox, and it's the same
Oh,
writers
that's
that
just
did Borderlands
Gearbox, then.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, no. That's no
Nope.
from me.
Yeah, I read that one. Huh. No.
Yeah, Borderlands 3. Oof.
Yeah. I kind of that's something actually I find very fascinating, is how much gaming has kind of grown up in the last 5-10 years, because you can still
It
find
has.
immaturity, because of course you always will, but you can find it pretty consistently something that's a bit more, if not mature, just more targeted towards a certain demographic that tends to be more like parental.
I mean, I love my Plague Tales and God of Wars and Last of Us's and all that stuff, but I also love my Vanquishes.
Oh no, I do too. I have no problem with just childish glee. Like,
yeah, and my Shadows of the Dams and my Lollipop Chainsaws.
Oh yeah, it's like, I'm never gonna get an emotional story out of Doom, but I mean, Doom's not awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Doom doesn't need it.
Oh, but then weirdly enough, Wolfenstein went full on mature adult, and I love that equally as well.
Yeah.
I love when these episodes turn into mini arcade podcasts.
Sorry, you got two of us on here, so
this kind of doubles actually. This, I mean, I'm allowed to say spoilers for things that come out recently, right?
Yeah, I think we can.
Yeah, because like three of you saw it already with Brock's stream.
Okay.
The recent the DLC that I reviewed for Resident Evil 8. I loved it quite a bit, although I know it's somewhat contentious to some people because it's complete, scattershot at many points. But the best parts for me are the parts where it weirdly becomes like a emotional like Disney moment. The best moment is just playing like the 16-year-old main character, like going through like the childhood home that she never actually knew, interacting with items from her dad who she never met, and hearing things from his voice she never heard, and eventually reading a letter, just basically just a letter that he wrote when she was like half a year old. It's going like, I'll be the best father I ever can, and I'm gonna walk you to school, I'm gonna hug you when you're sad, and I'm gonna always be with you. And holy fuck, was that just the most emotional, just I'm gonna stab you in the gut repeatedly moment.
Even just watching that Let's Play was it was pretty gripping.
Oh yeah. Like that reminds me a lot of my mom. She was always like that sort of sappy, oh, I'll always be here with you no matter what, that sort of attitude. So that was very hard on your sleeve, genuine, and I did not expect it all from this DLC. Maybe I should have, because Resident Evil 8 was frankly a more emotional game than I would have expected, seeing how it's more dad has to save kid, which that's well-worn territory at this point with gaming. But this is a franchise I love the series, but it's very stupid. It's the punching a boulder, a leech wording you back into a Final Fantasy villain, angry child destroys China, stupid.
Yeah, you gotta love those. You gotta love those plots that they have for.
I do, and I love that. Just like
it's always good.
Recent games have been going in a more emotional, honest direction, and it's kind of culminated with this DLC that's just a mixture of heart-pumping terror and existential loss and childhood that never was. And it's just that connected with me on a level I didn't expect from this DLC.
And it's one of those things that's kind of universal too. Like you don't even have to know the full story. Like I didn't know the full story, but you get the gist in that moment. But
but no, I think that's kind of really enough. Many of these games are more therapeutic than I would like to admit. That's still probably the most traumatic thing in my very existence. My mom died 5 years ago, and good old games constantly having some sort of emotional reactions. It helps in a weird way. It's like the inside out of like
it does kind of help. Yeah.
All I know is that I'm very much looking forward to reading your spoiler review.
Okay, yeah, because I can go into my details.
And I just want to do more dumb picture captions.
Oh yeah, I posted that to like the Discord, that just the Lady D fan group, and they were all like, "Oh, that was a great review. Whoever did those captions was just so amusing." And I'm like, "That wasn't me, but I appreciate that compliment."
It's all to reinforce it, man. It's all to reinforce it.
It's like, honestly, the best part is you put in a dad joke that probably would have actually been put in the main game.
Exactly. That's what I was going for. I was
that is every bit as corny as going, I got me a big one when he reels in a boat.
Well, you gotta take your inspiration from somewhere.
Yeah. On the bright side with those video projects, I did actually get an email back from this historical society that actually monitors the Eastland and like memorial stuff, and they're actually helping me now, because I emailed them back a couple months back, but they never really kind of got back to me. But I never was like, I'm not going to force to be hands on with these people. Turns out I can figure out why. It's because they were doing like a 6-month video project with Ask a Mortician on the exact same subject, and that came out last month. So making headway on that.
Nice.
I
right.
will say this though, I do look forward to the Eastland one, just so I know how much I meant to you, Tyler, and also just because I get to hear at least a vocal performance that I did.
Yeah, and I will not edit yours and change it at all, I promise.
Good. Good, because I already gave you guys a preview of that, the last mental health one. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Also, Kiona, if you want to be in that video project, you totally can be.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I'm always open to it. Sure.
Yeah, not to force you to do things. I did send you that script and everything, but that's whenever you need to, whenever you want to, because that's gonna probably come out in like July now, next July. Seeing how just tying it better.
Okay.
All right, Jacob, you've got the floor next.
Oh yes, I talked too much. I apologize.
It's okay.
No,
No, don't worry.
It's all good.
So for the last mental health one, I mentioned this on Brock's podcast, zeroing out. I've become a research assistant at Central Michigan University.
Yeah.
I'm helping a study about autism in the workplace and how autistic and neurotypical people navigate the workspace. I even took part. I was actually interviewed for a study that a college student was doing for their doctorate about autism and identity. I was actually featured in a study.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah. It's a lot of interesting opportunities have come up as well, like being a freelance writer. I actually recently did a bibliography for this one client, and I'm in the middle. There's an opportunity I never thought I would be able to take up. I'm helping this one Pakistani writer with like this big fantasy epic series that they're working on as a storyteller.
Oh, wow.
Very cool. Wow.
Yeah. Can't say
man.
that I can't really say that this was my New Year's resolution list for this year, but you know what? I've learned to embrace life's unpredictability.
Indeed. Yeah.
Like I've realized that creating giant great plans for your life is really fruitless, because that's just something you got to embrace about life, is that sometimes the universe just throws you a bone. Sometimes the universe just, and even when things don't go as your plan, that gives you an opportunity to pivot.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there have been some times where or like this big monkey wrench is thrown into my plans, and like even something even greater arrives from it. You just gotta take life by the horns, and you just gotta, whatever life throws at you, you just gotta take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what they say, when one door closes,
There's another one opens.
Yep.
And I've come such a long way from when I started this year. Stuck in working in retail. I'm stuck in retail, wondering if my life would ever get going. And it's been taken
That's
off
rough.
stupendously these past few months.
Yeah. That's awesome for you, man. That's really good.
Yeah. I'm no longer waiting. I'm still a part of the podcast. I'm still I would never, by the way, I would never have guessed back in March 2020 that you guys would be making this website, and that was a huge opportunity I did not see coming. Just take that. That's a perfect example of that. And it's been fun. It really has.
You're still going, man. It's been
yeah.
By
the way, I cannot get over. I keep bringing this up, but how serendipitous is it that this website started in March 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our first episode, I believe, was like a week or two before the pandemic was like officially declared.
Right, the CDC declared a pandemic.
Yeah.
And
basically
the whole idea was about how pop culture is what we do to escape.
Exactly.
If that's not right place at the right time, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's crazy to think about. I mean, that's kind of what I was doing the other day, was just going, looking down the list of all of our episodes. It's insane. Like, I know for a fact, I think we've done way more than like 250 episodes.
Oh,
We're pretty close to that.
yeah, we've at least got like somewhere in the 200 to 300s.
Yeah. Which is crazy to me. Like, I never thought that it would last that long.
Because usually we record at, I think we're for the most part consistent with posting like at least 1 or 2 podcasts per week.
At least.
And so 52, you figure 52 weeks in a year. And we've been going for, I'm gonna assume, like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So give or take a few week breaks. Yeah, we're pretty much around that 200 300 mark.
And it's interesting too to see like we've added people as we've gone on, like it started out with just basically the 3 of us, and I think that Jacob.
Yeah.
It was you, Mike, and me and Josh at first, and then Jacob, and then like it just kind of grew from there, which is really interesting.
My first one actually was when we were talking about the streaming wars, about all the
That's
different streaming
right.
services.
That's
and that was
right.
the one where Josh went into a big rant over Disney Plus.
I remember that.
Remember all the Peacock jokes?
Yes, I remember, Caleb. Remember? Yeah, I also remember who was the main source of all those. Yes, and there was another one we did
couldn't resist
shortly afterwards where that was an interesting topic. This one we talked about the movies that came out in 2020 before COVID.
Yeah,
that was a fun one. That was a fun one. One that I do often turn back to for sentimental reasons is the one where it's just me, Kiona, Josh, and Crystal. That.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That
was
good. Good fun.
Yeah. That was the one. I
remember like all the random asides too, like all the things about like Hellman's mayonnaise and like the stuff about like ranch dressing. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it was weird stuff.
I don't remember that, but yeah.
Yeah, we had some very amusing side rants.
Oh, those are the most fun parts of any podcast. My favorite podcast of all time is Talking in History, and the best thing about that show is they'll talk about history and then start randomly talking about. So, has anyone ever seen that show, River Monsters? It's like that level of random.
I don't know if anyone here listens to Trash Taste, but that they advertise themselves as an anime podcast, but you go through like their highlights. They just talk about like literally anything, like everything and anything. Like
best example on that show was they're talking about like the Battle of the Bulge in World War II, and this leads to them talking about everyone likes to think that the French make nothing but like Jean-Luc Godot movies, and then they start talking about, you ever seen Taxi, the American movie? Well, it was actually a French franchise. They made 7 taxis, including one where the taxi becomes a plane. The French know garbage just like we do. And then someone goes, oh, did you know what the biggest hit in Germany was? It was a movie called Der Clown. Yeah, The Clown. Nothing to do with World War II. It's just a 10-minute rant about European movies. Amazing podcast. Rants are great.
Yeah, those are
honestly,
always fun.
that kind of nonsense is something I want to try to bring back to this network.
Yeah,
I do kind of miss the old
you got to bring back the
free-for-alls.
free-for-alls. Yeah, bring them
Oh
back.
yeah. Like honestly, the funny thing is all the comments are like, I want more tangents. There's actually a couple episodes that are just nothing but just called like tangents part 1 because there was like so many tangents they had to cut it out of the full episodes and just put it aside into its own thing.
Or that one part where Hayden talked about a movie with squeaky boobs in it. Yeah.
We had so many fun little things like that. Yeah, that was crazy. That was good stuff.
And who could forget the epic Ernest Cline rant?
The Ernest Cline.
Ah, yeah.
Oh my god.
During the Thanksgiving one. Are you talking about the one where it's like he's reading that Ready Player 2 one?
Yeah.
The lost episode, I think.
Okay. Oh yeah. That
Yeah.
I forgot that was
Where
from
he
the
actually
episode.
Josh read passages from Ready Player 1 and Armada.
And somehow went through the whole thing without vomiting.
That felt like that reminded me of a famous moment from I think it was the roast of Rob Reiner, where a couple of the roasties just started reading out Roger Ebert reviews of North.
Yeah, like Roger, I hated this movie. Hated this movie. Hated every stupid audience insulting moment of it.
Yep, they read the whole thing to him. It's like, say, hey Rob, here's some reviews of your movies, and just like all those that.
Good times.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. I would enjoy that, I think, the most, honestly.
Oh,
I mean, I
Somebody
think
just
we have
roasting my stuff.
I think we have found our footing recently. And I think that's all for the good, but
Mhm.
a part of me can't help but look back at those memories fondly.
Oh, of course. What was funny was that when I made that the free-for-all graphic, the header image, and I put Armada in there because I was just like, it's such a part of like what, like good fond memories, it's a part of our
Honestly,
past in a way. And I
I
showed
kind-
that to Josh, and he goes, what the hell is Armada doing in that?
I kind of wish like there was a segment, like if we ever do like video sketches, like we should have one where Josh is like sitting near a fireplace in a bathrobe while classical music is playing while he's reading Ernie Klein.
We should totally do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Good like Masterpiece Theater or something with the Ernie Klein.
Oh my god. It would be
That would be great.
Cease and desist letters, I'm sure.
Yeah. And the rest of us were trying to have like an intervention. Like, Josh, watching you go through this has been hell. It's been hell, Josh. Do it for our sake. Stop. We love you too much to allow you to continue to do this.
any more reading is considered abuse.
Yeah.
There's plenty of still writing stuff.
I think so.
I remind me of the time a friend literally sent me a picture of this is what his website looks like, and I literally just muttered something. Oh, fuck you. It's nothing but like NES controllers and like Mario pipelines.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Oh man, that's like the time I had to do an English class. And like, pick one of these 30 essays from like this bank of essays to write a paper about. So I picked the one that was about gaming. And it was some real hippy dippy weirdo. I forget her, Jane McGarnagle, I think her name was. Oh, same. She was like a female version of Ernest Cline, except she wrote an essay about like gaming can change the world positively.
Oh, I remember her. Yeah. Something about gamification of.
Yeah, gamification of life and how it can make us all better was the name of the essay.
Yeah, that hasn't worked out.
No, I mean she's not a terrible human being. Just like it feels like something that Ernest Cline would write, just with a little more foresight.
It feels a little
like it, but not too much more foresight.
Yeah.
Ernie Klein's,
I remember that.
Ernie Klein's like the Freeberg and Seltzer of authors. I just realized.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah,
He's very good. Well, I might go that far, but I'd say something along the line of maybe like I don't know, Tommy Wiseau. It's like I don't think he quite knows what he's actually writing. Or any
Exactly.
implications of what he's writing.
Exactly. Exactly the Tommy Wiseau
So when he
thing.
crosses the line, it's bad, but it comes off almost like just a child who doesn't quite know what he said wrong, not like anything hateful.
I mean, I just wonder, like, is his inner monologue as he goes through life, is he like, and I will one day throw this barrel as Donkey Kong once did at Jumpman.
Maybe. I mean, that can be charming in its own way. Like one of my favorite online reviewers, a guy named Tim Brayton, once said sarcastically, when I'm bored, I sometimes click the pen 3 times and throw it at the wall like it's going to be the freaking pen grenade from like GoldenEye. And he goes, that says everything you know about my 40-year-old existence. It's like,
It is
Yeah.
about Josh. He actually did an editorial on how much better Spielberg's Ready Player One is than the book, and I actually proofread that. That is pretty amazing, that video, and I gotta say that is pretty amazing that he was able to find like something
Yeah.
that the movie, because the movie was panned, I think, about as equally as the book.
I think I got I think it has like a 70 to 80% Rotten Tomato. That's a mostly it's all right.
Yeah, like mixed to positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think most
Yeah, I
people
remember that
agree
video. I
it's
watched it.
less terrible than the movie, than the book.
Honestly, the whole thing that really saved that movie for me was the Shining scene.
Which is not in the book.
I know.
Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah. Jacob, you have anything else you want to add?
I guess all I can say is that I've begun to like become better at noticing when other people have autistic traits. I guess like I have a pretty good reading of how autistic people operate. It depends, like if their brain functions, like if they say things, like if their pattern of speaking matches mine, I think that's a good bet actually that they are on, although it is called a spectrum for a reason. I know that.
Mhm.
But I just said I'm pretty good at reading people, like when they have traits. I'm like, yeah, actually that would make sense that they were autistic.
Yeah. I wish I was more patient with people like that because I acknowledge them. Like I know people have autism and I know they can't help it, but I'm like, there's a reason why I'm not a teacher in school. I'd be the worst teacher, I assure you.
Everyone says I'm like good with children, but that's honestly the last thing I ever want to do professionally.
I think you still do better than like me. I'd be the first one to go and put your hand down. It's a terrible question.
I think I would be good with kids too, but that's again, I agree that isn't something I would want to do for a living.
Yeah.
Like you have to love teaching in order to put up with everything that
Rowdiness.
comes with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rowdiness. Yeah.
And not just that, but you also have to deal with like the school board, parents, like other teachers. There's just a whole lot of baggage that comes with it.
Yeah, like I have a friend that's like a really, really lovely, nice guy. In fact, he's doing the actual the voice work for my new videos, and it's like that guy became a teacher in a public school in Texas, and I think he lasted all of 2 months. He has more patience than I ever will have.
Also, I would like to know, embracing my autism like I have, it has helped me become a better advocate. Like I read other marginalized people better. Like I can relate more, like especially like a lot of LGBTQ plus people happen to be autistic. It's not a coincidence also that I'm bisexual. So yeah, that lines up like a lot. That happens pretty often. That does make sense to me actually. Like embracing my autism and my sexuality, that's really helped a lot.
That's good.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't be such a hard topic with me because I have about 20 things. It's like, oh, it's hard.
So yeah, that's it for me.
All right, Kiona, you're in the hot seat now.
Okay, so oh my god, I don't even remember what I was talking about the last time I was on one of these. So I think for me it's just been a lot of like, just mental hardships and stuff, and like lack of sleep and just exhaustion has been kind of my thing. Like it's just so hard to sleep. I don't know why that is. I think my brain is just going in 1,000 different directions and, thinking of solutions and thinking of things.
Oh man, I'm the same way. Same way, man. I sent you all the review thing. I think like 3 a.m. yesterday.
Yeah, and I mean, I sleep in like naps. That's how I sleep. So like I get like 2 hours and then I'm back up, and then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna, oh well, there's the review. I'm gonna just go ahead and take a look at it and post it and get it done, just to have something done. It makes me feel like I accomplished something, even though sleep is not that. But
Yeah,
I didn't accomplish sleep, but I accomplished like posting something, so that's good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can relate to that heavily.
Yeah, and so I guess you just use that in whatever way you can, but not entirely healthy, but whatever.
Trust me, I can relate to that too. Sleep and I, we have a very love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
I've been taking NyQuil even too. I'm honestly, I'm drinking a Monster just to stay away from this, which for some reason I feel like I have to, just although I did order like a coffee substitute mud.
Yeah, I sometimes either do melatonin just to get through, or I just get up like 3 a.m. and go, I'm gonna take a spoonful of peanut butter and like a Mountain Dew and just see where that goes.
So I'm gonna take like fattening like energy drinks or something. Yeah.
And
my motto is sleep is overrated. I think I've had it thrown back in my face about 10 times on Discord.
Plenty of time to sleep when I'm dead. No, but
I've said that too.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just one of those things. But like, apart from that, I mean, I feel like I've been feeling a little bit more like reinvigorated in a way to come back to the site and kind of get things done. Like, just little things that matter to me. Like, for instance, like changing the about page and just working on like everybody's nameplates and stuff like that, and just trying to get like trying to make the site updated a little bit and make it look a little bit nicer. So yeah, I mean,
which I definitely appreciate, because trying to run the website like all by yourself
it's rough. I know.
Yeah.
You feel like you had to like grow like 8 arms just to like manage everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. I'm glad that you're doing okay.
Yeah. So,
and
that's really cool.
And it helps. Like, I'm glad that I'm helpful with like editing the podcast and like proofreading, like whenever you guys have like reviews for me to look at.
Yeah, I'm always grateful to you guys for helping out, and
it takes a village,
Yep.
Yeah, it really does. It really does.
Yeah, I honestly, editing it is a kind of pretty rewarding, because especially if I'm able to cut out a lot of dead space, like it is like I do kind of like set goals for how much I can cut out. Like largely depends on like how long the video is. Like if it's short, like if it's a jukebox one, like I aim for like 5 minutes to cut out, but I'm not super, because the cool thing about the jukebox one is that Mike and Nick, you guys, you talk at a pretty decent pace. It's there's not a whole lot of fat to trim out, and it is, but also at the same time, like as I'm editing, I also try to make the edits not so obvious, because there are times when like it's very noticeable clipping sometimes, like, and I try as best to avoid that. Even, and also keep in mind is you also have to have a balance while editing the podcast, because you also want to sound professional, But at the same time, people do like podcasts for the improvisational nature of it. I like people not to think that, you come with the podcast basically with a script in hand. So it is something to keep note of, is how much are you editing to make it professional, and how much like can you tell that these are actual people saying all these things.
Yeah, that's a good balance to strike. Like there's a spectrum between clean professional style versus like just pure authenticity.
Yeah, like loosey goosey. Actually, I was just thinking for the free for all. Do you think it's possible we can do like another Thanksgiving one?
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'll think about it.
That was fun. That was fun. So yeah, editing gives me something like to chew on. Like it gives me something to. It helps get my mind off things too. That's another good form of therapy.
That's good.
Yeah.
I gotta say, like all this reminiscing, it reminds me of something that not to toot my own horn, but I am very proud of this. Do you guys remember the graphic for one of the free-for-alls that was like M. Night Shyamalan?
Yeah.
And it was like Hot Shyamalan Nights or something.
Oh yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
That's great.
And I don't know why, but that graphic to this day just cracks me up.
I remember that one fondly because that was the one where we talked about our favorite actors, and I listed mine as Christopher Lee. That was my favorite.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was mentioning the songs that he does, like has a heavy metal artist. He sang one as Charlemagne because he was actually descendant of Charlemagne. And one of the songs he sang as a heavy metal artist was called it's called Shedding the Blood of the Saxon Men. And the first thing Josh said immediately was, "That sounds metal as fuck." That's so
Love it.
Yeah, that was a fun one too.
That was a good one. Oh man. Yeah, good times.
Good times indeed.
Oh yeah.
So Mike, what's been on your mind? What have you been going through?
Boy, what hasn't been on my mind? Well,
Loaded question.
Seriously, 2022 has been it's been a year.
It has.
I kind of alluded to this on Twitter a while ago, but entertainment wise, it's been a great year. Movies have been great. Music has been awesome. And if you're a constant listener of Renegade Animation, you know that like animation in film and TV has been, pretty stellar.
Yeah.
It's everything else that's, not so great. And what really kind of has defined the latter half of this year is in August, I was let go from my last full-time job that I was at for 4.5 years. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I've had more time to be more hands-on with the website. And that's kind of the reason why eventually we will have our Patreon fully launched, because I want to make sure I want to make sure I turn this into something that can last for a while,
into a full-time job.
Exactly, because this is
absolutely.
This is my dream. This is my passion. And I remember exactly the day that I said, like, oh yeah, I definitely want to make this thing. I was coming home from Greta Gerwig's remake of Little Women, I left the theater like fired up, ready to go, and I messaged Fiona being like, "Yeah, we're doing this."
Oh yeah,
And then
I remember that.
And then yeah, the rest is pretty much history from there.
I saw Little
And
Women. I saw Little Women in the theater. Actually, it was a crowded theater, and at the end of it, everyone clapped. That was
Nice.
great.
Wow.
I can't remember last time I saw that happen.
Have you seen Little Women, Kiona?
I have it on my watch list, but I haven't seen it.
Greta Gerwig. I'm pretty excited for her Barbie movie.
Same.
I'm excited for it, man. I
Weirdly
totally
more
want to
interested
see
than I
it.
should be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
You were saying, Mike?
I was saying that yeah, ever since August, it's been just a rough couple months. On top of that, August is when you first started hearing all of the news surrounding Warner Brothers and Discovery, all of their layoffs.
Yeah.
HBO Max dumping like 80% of, well, maybe that number's a bit too high, but like a lot of movies and shows just got dumped from their service. Most of them were animated series, and that just kind of that just created a whirlpool of just the worst kind of news that you'd want to hear, especially when you're already kind of feeling down. You don't really want anything else to like pile up.
And and it's like maybe some people would sit there and go like, well, it's just entertainment. You know what I mean? It's like it ultimately, what does it mean in the grand scheme of things? But to us, it means something because
Yeah.
it's our hobby. It's something that we love, and it's something where we want to see animators and people who make these shows and movies and games and everything get their just due. And
it's pretty.
It's
yeah.
It's
pretty unfreaking precedented where you have a big budgeted movie, a superhero movie that was supposed to include Michael Keaton as Batman in it, and you decide, it's cheaper to like have this as a tax write-off instead of like releasing it into theaters. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's a pretty unprecedented move. Like, how can you not be upset by that? Or this is supposed to be like a big milestone in representation as well.
Yeah.
And
yeah, everything about that just it's just all disappointing. And yeah, I did see some reports out there where like insiders said, oh, this movie's not very good, so that's why it was canned. But
yeah,
but then there were conflicting reports that said like the opposite. But
isn't that entirely subjective? I mean, let the audience decide.
Like, Warner
Exactly.
Bros. They've released critically panned stuff before, like even if it wasn't very good. Like
if Morbius could come out, then so could that movie. Okay, I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Yeah, Don't Worry, Darling, that got some pretty bad. Like I didn't think it was that bad, but like
it's not memorable because of the movie.
Yeah, it's like
the
thing is like dude, I mean, it's like I doubt it's anywhere near as bad as like Fan Stick or something like that.
No, not even close.
Yeah.
And also, the original plan for this episode was to record it the night before my 30th birthday. But other things got in the way. But yeah, I'm 30.
Yay.
That is a milestone that I, for the longest time, never thought I'd reach.
Almost a third of a century.
I thought for for the longest time that like either 30 was the end, or I just wouldn't even reach that age. But you know, thanks to a very good therapist and you know people who you know like support me, have my back, are just generally good company. It's honestly helped me keep going, and my mindset has changed pretty significantly. I'm no longer I'm no longer thinking that 30 is the end, but rather 30 is a new beginning, a new chapter. And that doesn't mean my anxiety and depression has gone away at all. Like it's still there. It's just now I have better tools to manage them.
I'm curious, Mike, when you turned 20, did you think that was the end?
I was thinking that at one point.
Right.
I don't know if I mentioned it on this podcast before, but the fall of 2012 was like one of my first big rock bottom moments where I felt pretty not great. I never came up with like an actual plan for suicide. It was always just sort of fleeting thoughts.
Yeah.
But
I've been there.
Yeah, same.
But 2012 was like one of the first times that like I recognized like, okay, yes, I do have depression. This needs to be dealt with. So I first started like looking into to therapy like pretty much at the start of 2013.
God damn.
And again, it's because of therapy that I'm in a better place now than I would have been. But yeah, there's like you said, Jacob, everyone, myself included, is a work in progress. And again, that's kind of the point of this podcast, is that you know whatever it is you're dealing with, you don't have to go through it alone.
Right. I gotta tell you, I had to call a suicide hotline when I was in college. Yeah, I remember I was unemployed too, just a few years ago, Mike, and I can attest that is a motherfucker on your mental well-being.
It is.
It is. Like it was after an internship I had expired, and after that, I assumed that the job opportunities for other big, like for companies for like writing and advertising, I thought they would just come pouring in, but they just didn't. So I was just in a month, like for an entire month, I was just spinning my tires, and eventually I just had to go back to working retail. I just had to swallow my pride, and I do hope, Mike, that this can actually be a full-time job of yours. That you don't have to. Yeah, so you don't have to go to like working in retail or like working as a barista or whatever.
Yeah, retail is what I'm actively trying to avoid.
Yeah.
I acknowledge that I will need to pick up some sort of employment in the interim. So yeah, when I'm not busy prepping for like 50 million podcasts, I am doing whatever I can to secure some sort of some sort of paycheck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am trying to get a degree so fast I can get out of retail.
Yeah. Man, I do not, and
Yeah, I've done both of those, retail and barista, not at the same time, thankfully.
Ooh,
yeah.
I was
grocery
gonna say
store
that.
for
You'd
Grocery
have to
store for
clone
me.
yourself for
I
that.
have to, yeah.
Like-
But the one good thing that came out of those experiences was that I met some really awesome people. So
I agree. I agree.
but yeah, I mean yeah, both of you, Mike and Jacob, I'm sorry that you guys went through that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you ever felt alone like that, because I know how that feels. I know how it feels to be to feel that way when you're in a room full of people and you still feel like you're just the odd person out, or you're just alone, or you're just isolated because nobody really understands you.
And I'll admit, sometimes it is a bit self-inflicting.
Sometimes, yeah, it can
Um,
be.
where like even though you're with a bunch of your friends, you still kind of like you still kind of like feel alone, or like this is just the introvert in me talking. Like
Mhm.
I will purposely remove myself from the room to like recharge a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Sometimes at my worst, I just want to just sit and sulk and just don't want to be around anything.
And sometimes like people don't really understand that is what I'm doing. Even even like even large family gatherings, like for example, Thanksgiving at the Kaye household is chaotic, to say the least, because like this is the holiday where like pretty much all of my family gets together, or at least
Oh,
like
man.
a good chunk. So at most we could have like 27 people sitting at like a long table plus some extra seats at the counter.
Oh God.
That's how chaotic it can get. I love it, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time like I go to like my grandparents, it's a relatively smaller gathering, but it can get pretty noisy. So I always go down in the basement every time I go there for like Thanksgiving or Christmas. Yes, so yeah, I'm an introvert even around my own family.
Same.
I'm a little self-conscious about that, honestly.
It's weird. I'm kind of both. I can just talk for hours and just dominate a conversation, and then the part of me just kind of goes, I just don't want to do anything. I want to sit and just do nothing all day.
Yeah, I definitely have. I definitely lean way more towards introversion, but because you're in situations sometimes, especially when you are in like a job situation, then you can kind of like turn it off and turn on the extroversion. Like I've told people that when I used to work at Starbucks and stuff, I've told people that I'm an introvert, and they're like, "Really?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, hell yeah." Like, no. You guys don't understand. Like I used to come home and just put myself in like a dark room and just have everything off and just be like still and by myself and no screens on, no nothing, and just like catch my breath because I just couldn't stand it anymore. You're
Yeah.
like overstimulated.
Yeah.
And my
like be alone with my thoughts sometimes. Yeah.
At my family
Yeah.
gatherings, it was especially brutal when I was still in college, and they would ask me questions about, how classes were going and stuff, and I just wanted to avoid discussing college whenever I could.
Yeah.
So it was really brutal for me to have to answer all those questions. I'm not proud. I would answer those questions in a very curt way, which I'm not proud of. Like, he's very curt, very just. I just really freaking hate it when anyone asks me about college when I wasn't in college.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel whenever I get asked about work. I would literally rather talk about anything else, but it somehow always got brought up, especially over like the last year, which is when I just really started to hate the job. So on the one hand, when I was let go, part of me felt a bit of relief that I no longer had to put up with anything going on there.
Mm-hmm.
But then the other part is like, oh, I just lost I just lost stability.
Well,
I do want to end this on a positive note. So I'll go around and ask, what is one thing that you're looking forward to for the remainder of the year? It can be a movie, a TV show, video game, or just something personal in your life. Fiona, I'll start with you. What is something you're looking forward to?
God of War Ragnarok.
Rightfully so.
Nice.
Yeah, and just being able to see like, Wakanda Forever, Black Adam when that comes out, because still can't go to theaters yet, but yeah. So that'll be good. That'll be good.
Jacob, what about you?
I'm looking forward to when My Father's Dragon comes on Netflix.
Oh yeah,
Noritumi and Cartoon Saloon's latest movie.
Yeah, that's pretty much like it's next weekend. Same weekend as Wakanda Forever.
Yeah. I'd like to discuss that actually.
We'll talk about that later.
Right.
Tyler, what about you?
I'll be honest, I don't quite know, because my last big thing was definitely the Resident Evil 8 DLC, and that was the 28th. I actually didn't have many more things of like, oh god, I break off the day for do that. I don't know, honestly, to be honest.
For me, aside from Wakanda Forever, I would have to say The Fablemans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know that like this is a very personal story for Steven Spielberg. I believe this is the first time he's like written a screenplay since
AI.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So and of course it's co-written by Tony Kushner, who has pretty much written the scripts for all of Spielberg's best late era films like Munich, Lincoln, West Side Story. And reviews from Toronto Film Festival are like already glowing.
Yeah.
So I just can't wait to see this for myself.
Oh, I can add something. Now you mentioned films. Martin McDonagh's new film. I'm looking forward to seeing that quite a bit.
Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah, I loved him as a director. I love that he's bringing back his In Bruges cast and the setting of like 1920s Ireland. And, all appeals to me.
I saw the trailer for that. That actually looks pretty good. Very, very deadpan humor. Very dry.
I'm hoping that expands to my theater soon, because I loved In Bruges. It's probably one of the best like dark comedies from the 2000s. I liked McDonough's other films, but In Bruges is just like my favorite of his.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, that was a fun movie.
But yeah, I believe that brings this one to an end.
I could go on for a lot of topics, but I will drag on that. Wouldn't want to talk to everyone else.
No, this was a good one. I'm glad we got to pull out another another episode of this show. We have it's been a while since we did one, but
It has, yeah.
so before we get out of here, Tyler, where can everyone find you online?
Hopefully, Storytellers Guild, my YouTube channel. Hopefully, the video will be out sooner rather than later. Also,
And-
the editors listening to this, I'm not rushing you. I promise.
And Jacob, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Facebook under Jacob Crable, Krehbiel. I'm also part of the Renegade Pop Culture Facebook group.
And Kiona?
You can find me at Keona Tang. That's KeonaTang on Twitter. And also you can find us at Ren Pop Culture on Twitter. That's Ren Not Stimpy.
And you can find me on Twitter at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And like Kiona said, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. We're also on YouTube, on Podchaser, on the Banana Meter. You can listen to all of our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. You need escape, so do we. That'll do it for this installment of the Mental Health Checkup. We will catch you guys later. Peace out.